Used to think silence was just another part of life, something you get used to when the days are long and the months roll by. But when silence stretched for an entire year between me and Ethan, the boy I once called my best friend, it felt heavier than any words ever could. We had grown up in the same neighborhood in Portland, Oregon. As kids, we rode bikes down the narrow streets, shared homework notes, and whispered our biggest dreams beneath the tall oak trees at the park. Ethan wanted to be an architect. I dreamed of becoming a writer. Back then, we thought the world was wide open for us. But things changed the summer after high school. College, new friends, and the rush of growing up pulled us in different directions. I moved to Seattle for college, and Ethan stayed behind, working and helping his family. We tried to keep in touch, but the calls grew shorter, the texts slower, until one day, they just stopped. What remained was silence, a silence that lasted for nearly a year. That's why the night everything changed still feels like a dream. It started with a message. It was a Saturday evening in late October, and the city was dressed in autumn colors, golden leaves crunching underfoot, the crisp chill of rain hanging in the air. I was at a coffee shop, staring at my laptop screen, trying to piece together a short story for class when my phone buzzed. I almost ignored it, but when I glanced down, the name lit up on my screen. Ethan Carter. My breath caught. All it said was, "Hey, I'll be in Seattle tonight. Want to catch up?" My fingers hovered over the keyboard, a dozen emotions rushing through me. Surprise, nerves, a pinch of excitement. After a year of silence, here he was. I typed back before I could second-guess myself. Yes. Where? An hour later, I found myself standing outside Pike Place Market. The neon signs glowed against the damp pavement, and people moved in and out of little shops. That's when I saw him. Ethan looked older, sharper somehow, like time had sculpted him into a man instead of the boy I once knew. He wore a dark jacket, his hair a little longer, his smile hesitant but familiar. "Hey," he said softly. "Hey," I replied. At first, the words didn't come easily. We walked along the waterfront, listening to the waves crash against the pier. We talked about small things, his new job at an architecture firm, my struggles with college essays, the weather. But as the night deepened, the distance between us slowly melted away. I realized how much I had missed the sound of his laugh, the way he always noticed little details others overlooked, the calm he carried in his voice. And Ethan, he told me he regretted the silence, that life had swept him away, but not once had he stopped thinking of me. We sat on a bench overlooking the water, the Space Needle glittering in the distance. For the first time in a year, we weren't just two people carrying memories. We were two people finding our way back to each other. That night, everything changed. It wasn't a dramatic moment. No grand gestures or fireworks. It was the quiet understanding that our story wasn't over. Maybe it had just been waiting for us to come back to it. In the weeks that followed, our conversations became steady again. Texts turned into calls, calls into visits, visits into something deeper. Seattle became the backdrop of a new chapter. A chapter where silence no longer defined us, but connection did. Looking back now, I realize that sometimes distance isn't the end. Sometimes, it's the space you need to remember how much someone means to you. And when the silence finally breaks, it can change everything.